called mission packages for mine countermeasures, anti-submarine technologies and surface warfare systems. This first appeared in Scout Warrior. However, lawmakers, analysts and some members of the Navy argued that the LCS was not survivable enough, meaning despite its speed of 40 knots and numerous advantages, the ship would be far too vulnerable to enemy attack. The concern, ultimately echoed by then Secretary of Defense Chuck Hagel, was that the ship did not have enough weapons, armor fortifications and what's called blue water combat capability to challenge near-peer adversaries. LCS is designed as a focused mission ship. It can do one specific mission at a time and the combat capability to do that mission is provided by the mission packages, he added. We are going to take a modified LCS and take that as the baseline and then add changes or modifications to improve its lethality and survivability. The new ship will also have 7 11-meter rigid inflatable boats for short combat or expeditionary missions such as visiting, searching and boarding other ships. At the same time, the anti-submarine technologies planned for the ship include a multi-function towed array sonar, variable depth sonar to detect submarines and sensors combined with a submarine hunting MH-60R helicopter. While the LCS, which is currently in service with the Navy, is credited for its speed, maneuverability and shallow draft which enables it to access shallow water ports larger ships are unable to reach. The LCS ships in service this far have performed quite well, Navy officials explained. 6 LCS vessels are currently in service, a spokesman for Naval Sea Systems Command told Scout Warrior. The initiative to engineer a more survivable and lethal LCS variant emerged out of a multi-month effort directed by Secretary Hagel and the formation of an entity called the Small Surface Combatant Task Force. The Secretary of Defense directed the Navy to stop building LCS at 32 ship and do a study or come up with alternatives to see what the remaining 20 need to be to meet the Small Surface Combatant requirement. The Navy put together a task force and built a series of options and a methodology around which they were able to do an assessment of alternatives, Brensingofer explained. The exact configuration of many of the weapon systems, which will be complemented by next-generation computing technology, sensors and communications gear, is still being determined. For the last 7 months we have laid out a series of design cycles and come up with proposed changes and alternatives to improve survivability and lethality. We have come through a number of those and we are now recommending to the Navy leadership a design that provides a capability to the fleet, Brensingofer explained. The emerging frigate ship will also be equipped with next-generation and stronger electronic warfare technologies far greater than the existing LCS and instead comparable to current Navy cruisers and destroyers, he added. In addition, the ship will be configured in what's called a modular fashion, meaning it will be engineered to accept and integrate new technologies and weapons as they emerge such as lasers and railguns, Brensingofer added. Technology over the next 6 to 7 years will enable us to use some sort of a laser weapon or railgun. As technology improves and we can have a different type of gun, the Navy will have that option with an understood set of interfaces and standards of space, weight and power, he said. With its mission packages, the LCS is configured to perform specific missions, one mission at a time, Brensingofer said. The frigate is being engineered to meet anti-submarine and surface warfare missions at the same time. Another potential area of innovation designed to improve protection for the new frigate is the use of space armor techniques. This involves taking specific spaces and improving the armor and ballistic protection of the ship to make it more survivable, Brensingofer added. Putting armor in vital places improves your ability to absorb damage. Part of the rationale for developing the frigate relates to a new Navy strategy to better arm its vessels with offensive and defensive weapons, enabling them to be better equipped for what's called deep or blue water combat. The strategy, called distributed lethality, seeks to better prepare the Navy for